What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. So let me start by apologizing. It is windy as heck outside, so you might be hearing the wind here and there, so just letting you guys know. So check this out. CD Projekt Red has officially had its financial earnings for 2021 unveiled, and it officially had its conference call with the investors. And guys, it is not looking good. And on top of that, they also announced the new expansion for Cyberpunk that's supposed to be coming out soon. And then here's some better news. Sony might be acquiring another company. Guys, let's get into it. Alright guys, so to begin today's news, we have the financial reports for CD Projekt Red. Now the reports include the sales figures for Cyberpunk and Witcher series. It also has other reports, of course, but we don't care about that stuff. So check this out, it's official. Cyberpunk has sold well over 18 million copies, guys. As amazing as that sounds though, it actually is not that amazing. It's actually pretty bad. Guys, remember, when Cyberpunk first came out in 2020, the game at launch had over 14 million copies sold. Okay, now that's impressive. What's even more impressive is that what I remember back then was the game had over 18 million pre-ordered at launch. But when the reviews came out for the game, people canceled their pre-order. But now let's fast forward to 2021. In the full year of 2021, Cyberpunk only sold about 4 million copies, which isn't bad at all for any game, keep that in mind. But this is Cyberpunk. They estimated it would at least have sold at least minimum double that. Now keep in mind, 18 million copies for a game that has been out for only 2 years is still pretty good. And from what I heard, 10 million copies of those 18 million are actually digital, which is really surprising. What's even more surprising, Elden Ring sold 12 million in like 2 weeks. So yeah, catch up Cyberpunk. But check this out though. And since 2015, when The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt came out, about 6 years now, it's sold over 40 million copies since it's been out. And the whole Witcher series itself, this is 1, 2, and 3, and the whole Witcher series has sold over 65 million copies, which is crazy. And keep in mind, even though it got delayed, Witcher 3 for next generations, which is delayed indefinitely, of course, when that comes out for the PS5 and the Series X, it's going to sell even more copies. And on top of that, we have Witcher 4 that's being worked on currently. When that comes out, we'll get even more copies. And as long as it's not buggy as hell like Cyberpunk, I can see the Witcher series honestly hitting 100 million copies minimum before the generation ends. So guys, during the investor calls with CD Projekt Red, there was a question about the expansion. When it's supposed to come out, what's going on with it, all that. So they gave us a little bit of detail, but nothing crazy. The main detail was it comes out 2023, and it's supposed to be a whole new storyline. Who's the person, the main protagonist, all that, nothing. Just 2023, whole new storyline. But something kind of caught my eye, well, my ear. They did state that's a paid DLC. Now, somebody please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but didn't CD Projekt Red, after Cyberpunk bombed completely, didn't they announce on Twitter that the expansion, at least the first expansion, was supposed to be free? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because that's what I remember them saying, but everybody's saying it's a paid expansion. So if you know what it is, at least what they announced, please let me know in the comments, because it better be free. Also, we did have news on the Cyberpunk anime for Netflix. It just finished basically the production phase. So now it's in the end phase where they do all the editing and everything. So look forward to that anime and probably around the end of 2022 on Netflix. Alright guys, so Sony's website updated its banner. And you know how Sony does their thing. They put up their current games and all their important games on the banner. Well, if you look very closely, you see Death Stranding. Now, usually this means that Sony probably acquired it or something's going on, because rumor is Death Stranding is Kojima's game. So right now there's rumors and allocations that Sony might be acquiring Kojima Production. Now, whether or not this is true, we don't know yet. But rumors is because of Death Stranding being added to the banner, there's a good chance that they probably acquired them. And keep in mind, if they weren't acquired or anything like that, why wasn't Death Stranding added on, in the beginning when it was first launched? Why wait till now when basically people already played it and forgot about it? Alright guys, as I was editing, there was an update to the Sony acquisition or acquiring. So Jeff Grubbs pointed out about 6 months to a year ago, Kojima had a contract, an intent contract, where Kojima and Microsoft were going to work together on making Kojima's next game. Now, this was about 6 months to a year ago, April 2021. So fast forward to today with the acquisition. Um, Jeff Grubbs doesn't believe this is actually true. It could just be a coincidence or something happened. But right now, the intent contract that Kojima has with Microsoft, it's still on, which means there's a chance that Sony didn't acquire them. Maybe they bought the rights to Death Stranding. Not really sure. There's nothing been announced from Sony yet. Now, keep in mind, guys, just because there is a contract between Microsoft doesn't mean Sony can't acquire them. It just means Kojima wants to basically continue finishing off the contract in whatever game they were producing together with Microsoft. Same thing with Microsoft acquiring Activision. They are basically still adding Call of Duty and whatever contract Activision had with Sony, they're still keeping that contract going. So this is just a follow up to basically the last story about Sony's acquiring of Death Stranding of Kojima production. I mean, so yeah, guys, we're not sure what's going on, but we'll find out soon. Hopefully tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.